When you start traveling, you become a mirror. You show that reality can be bent. You show that things don't have to be fixed. And some people just don't want to see that. And that's okay. We need to talk about some realities that are kind of harsh that come up when you are the one who's always traveling. The person who's always away, the one fulfilling their dream of traveling and seeing the world. My name is Shirin. If we don't know each other, hi. Hello. Welcome. This is basically just my digital diary where I share some things that move me, some things that I think about during my life, I guess. This is not supposed to be a podcast or like a YouTube video that gives you all of the answers. I'm just a girl who's honestly sharing what she's feeling. So let's dive into it if you are interested. Whether you're a person that wants to travel and is afraid to take the first step, or you are a person who's already traveling and maybe you can feel some of these realities too, let me know. I have my journal here. I haven't even finished my breakfast. I haven't even had my first sip of coffee. I'm sitting here in wet hair because I just needed to sit down and film this video. Sometimes when you have an idea, you have to act on it right away because otherwise you will not do it. Cheers. I want to do a little disclaimer. These 3 things I'm going to share with you right now are not here to stop encouraging you to go travel. It is the best decision I've made in my life. I completely built a new life just because I took this backpack, I sold everything, I left my career in law, and I made the first step of going to Southeast Asia. It was the best decision of my life, so I would never change that. But with every new life and every new reality that you are building, there are some parts to it that you just don't expect, or things that you just don't know before. And that's normal and that's fine. So let's get into it. The first one is a really harsh reality that I think most people who travel experience is you will let a lot of people down, whether it's family, best friends, people from work, whoever you know, you will let people down because you cannot be in 2 places. So what does that mean? If you choose yourself and you go to travel and you create a reality where you have time to explore and not go on a trip that is like 2 weeks and you are rushing through, and then when you're home, you need a rest from your vacation. So when you take the time to really have a break, you will let people down because you cannot be there for all the birthdays. You cannot be there for all the festivities. You cannot be there for all the important things that people experience that are important to you. So what does that mean? You will let people down and people will be disappointed in you. And you get this energy again and again and again. And you have to deal with it. Because the moment you choose yourself, the moment you say, I will not be in my normal reality, I will explore the world. Of course, you will not be there. You will miss some things and you also will let people down. And it's just a very sad reality of traveling because being in 2 places is impossible. Making everyone happy is impossible because if you make everyone else happy and you keep all of the schedules of everyone, guess who's the one suffering? You guessed it, you. So it can feel selfish at times to let people down because you choose yourself. Once you made it out, things change. And it's really hard to live in 2 worlds. And I did that for a long, long, long time. If you go away for a few months, it will change you. When you come back, it is really hard to fit in again because you changed a lot, but the place you're from didn't change so much. The reality is still the same. The routines are still the same, but you are not the same. I talked to a lot of people about this who experienced this feeling of not belonging after you travel, this feeling of not being able to go back, right? I solved this by deciding to not live in Germany again. If I come back to Germany, it will be as a visitor, not as a resident. For now, this can change. Life can change. You always get new things, new ideas, new opinions. Things change. Things that are normal are not normal to you anymore. Reality becomes relative. So, and that's kind of a good thing, I think, because you grow up in your social circle, in your economical circle, in your country, in your system. So you think all of the things in your system are normal. Once you start traveling and you see different countries, you see different systems, you see different people, and you see different types of businesses, it will change you a lot because you see that reality is relative. I get a lot of questions from friends, from family members saying, when are you coming back to real life? When are you coming back to reality? And I always say to them, my reality is different than yours, and that's fine too. Because what I learned is that if you are fortunate enough to be in a place where you can travel because you have a passport and you have enough money to board a flight, you can make it work. I always thought that traveling and vacation is expensive. But now that I'm traveling for almost 2 years, I understood for me, living in Germany is expensive. For example, I always thought that prices are always fixed. I have to be okay with the price that someone gives me because in Germany we don't bargain. So once I started traveling, I understood that everything is negotiable. Everything. And you don't have to be a pain in the ass about it. But also you can choose. You can choose. You can choose where you want to stay. You can choose what is important to you. You have so much freedom of choice. And also, you can always choose to stay in a place longer, and you can choose to find a place where you can work. Because guess what? You can work abroad. You can be a volunteer so you save a lot of money. You can find something that you love and share it. For me, it's yoga. I stayed in Siargao in the Philippines for 1 month as a yoga teacher in a beautiful retreat. And I exchanged my work for it. And I loved it. Once you start traveling, reality shifts. Reality is not something fixed anymore. And that's amazing because you are not stuck in the same cycles you have been before. You are not stuck in the same economics you have been before. So basically, you have a lot of freedom of choice. And the last reality I want to share with you that is a little bit hard is people lose interest. And I know that sounds sad, but it is kind of true. The questions shift from what are you experiencing, what's going on, to when are you finally coming back? And that happened to a lot of people that I know. And it is not only in friend circles, of course, it is especially in family circles. The emotions change. It goes from excitement to blame. When you start traveling, you become a mirror. You show that reality can be bent. You show that things don't have to be fixed. Basically, you are mirroring to people what is possible in life. And some people just don't want to see that. And that's okay. So before we end this video, I want to say a few things to you that are really important. So if you take something away from this video, let it be this. You cannot make everyone in your life happy without you suffering. Your new life will cost you your old one. And that's a good thing because your new life is truly yours. And you get to decide what you want to do with it and how you want to live it. You get to choose how you want to make money with it. And that's a really, really, really good thing. Because now I have freedom. I have time freedom. I work for myself. I can work remotely from wherever the hell I want. And I make good money with it. And I don't say that to hold it in your face. I say that to show to you that it is possible, because 2 years ago I was stuck in a law office and I thought I would never get out. And here I am sitting in Ubud in Bali in my own little place with the pregnant cat, sharing with you what I learned within 2 years. It is possible. If I could make it work, you can make it work too, I promise. So that's it from me. I have to drink my coffee now. See you soon.